Hi. So I went missing for quite a while. Um, Sorry about that. If people actually have been watching these. Um, I got really unwell. I got an infection of some kind somewhere. The doctor just prescribed me a broad spectrum antibiotic because we couldn't figure out where it was, but there was obviously when I had a temperature, I was very ill. Um, and also because I had endometriosis removed from my bowel, um, there was just a lot of pain that turned up once the nerves woke up. um, it's still quite painful to go to the toilet, so that's fun. So I just couldn't. I just didn't have the energy or anything. In the last few days, I've been putting on makeup and feeling quite a lot better. So I thought I would come make a video. I didn't put on makeup today. You guys have already seen me the way I am, so I'm just leaving it. But also, after a couple of days of doing things, like going to a job interview, meeting my mum and dad's puppy, I'm very, very tired. Like, doing stuff makes me tired. And it's been about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks since the 11th of March when I had my hysterectomy. I'm super tired now. Like, my body's healing. My stitches have been taken out from the very small incisions around my tummy, where like the robot went in and did whatever it did. I mean, they did it that way because it's more precise, because you're working close to my bowel and all that, and they need to be precision, or you can puncture the bowel, which was a big worry when I got so sick. A lot of symptoms I was really worried were indicating that that's what had happened, but it hadn't. Yeah, I was just so ill. A lot more ill than like my mum when she had her hysterectomy, which was through like an incision like the C-section, so just a little C down the bottom. She wasn't quite as ill, but she didn't have to have endometriosis removed. So we're sort of the theory that it's less the hysterectomy, more having to have endometriosis removed, that caused the problem. Which I definitely agree, because none of the pain has really been from that area. That area has been sort of maybe a bit of pulling, a bit of uncomfortableness, but the real pain has been other things. Like, I got migraines for a couple of days because of the pain medication, apparently. I'm the only person in the universe who gets the runs and migraines from opioids. So I'm glad I never took up any habits like that. That's how that ended out for me. And yeah, the rest of me sort of, yeah, once I figured that out and we stopped that medication, it then became bowel pain and my tummy just really, really upset. So I've got a lot of gas, so it's like I've got colic, like a baby. If it's this painful for babies, I don't blame them crying. It is so painful. I actually feel quite sorry for them if it's this painful. I have a whole new understanding of the pain of colic. But yeah, I've always been like this. I was a really colicky baby, actually. My grandfather used to say big balls of wind, and he's not wrong. They are big balls of wind. I got like this in my 20s for some reason, and they did a scan at that time with dye, and they couldn't see my spleen for gas. So I am prone to this. So if you're sort of getting this and you like getting a hysterectomy and this is why you're watching it, or what led you to my video, don't assume that you will get this problem. they haven't really heard of it, but I'm just got a sensitive belly. So if you do have a sensitive tummy and maybe instances of things like that, and reflux and heartburn and things like that, maybe your tummy would play up. Maybe I'd be prepared for it. It's not pleasant, so maybe if you're prepared and it doesn't happen, then you can be quite happy. I'm also one of the first people the nurse has ever heard of getting the runs from opioid based painkillers. Usually people get constipated, but my body just went the other way. It wasn't happy. But I'm doing well now. It's definitely the doctor the nurse got me onto peppermint tea for all the gas and that's definitely moving things in big ways. So I'm feeling a lot better. I've been driving in the last couple of days, which has been nice because I can go out again, which I was hesitant to do once you've had quite a while out of society. It's really funny to have to go back and put normal clothes on and go out. It was kind of like after lockdown when we all got to go out again, and it was just, you weren't used to it. It was the same thing. I just really wasn't used to it. But it was fun to just go and set myself up a job for after my healing time, which I've managed to do. And that was a video I wanted to make, is about actually what happens with employment for women with endometriosis, because there's a lot of statistics there. It's endometriosis month at the moment where I am, so there's a lot of information going out at the moment, and Safe Work has put out some information on how that impacts employment. So I really, because it's hit me where it really hurt, I wanted to put out a video for that, which I will still do. Probably not today because I'm just slowly weaning myself back after so much pain. I just wouldn't have been pleasant for me to make a video because I don't want to scare people from doing this, because despite everything you go through, you feel a lot better. You just feel a lot better. Something that I really noticed is less cravings for sugar and salt, which makes me think, did the endometriosis feed off that? Off sugars and salts and preservatives and additives that I was eating, because I was struggling so much, and now I don't struggle at all. Like, I can have just one fun size Snickers for dessert and that's enough, and things like that. So I am wondering just how much these kinds of things feed off bad food, and then maybe contribute to cravings so that they can grow. I'm really happy with that because I'm dropping quite a bit of weight, and I needed to, for many reasons. There's type 2 diabetes in my family as you get older, and I'm 42, so I'm heading well towards that older part of my life where that's going to become a problem. Heart attack and things like that. So it was concerning me that I couldn't get weight off, that I couldn't control cravings. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Also, it has damaged my teeth quite a bit, which makes me upset. I don't like my teeth very much anymore, but I look after what I've got left, and just do my best. But my mood is better now, which is good. And just looking forward to slowly getting back into life. I don't know what to update at the moment. But yeah, I suppose now it's about catching up on all the things that I haven't been able to do because I was too sore. But it's really down to one thing a day. So I do things, but like going and doing that job interview, then coming home, I was just so tired. And then yesterday, going and seeing my mum's puppy and playing with that, coming home, like I've slept until 11 a.m. today because I was so tired. So I think my body's still healing and wants that rest for healing. And I've really got to do it now. Now that I've lined up a job, like I've got, about a week left off. So I need to, in that week, I think, really sleep and rest and rejuvenate and heal my body. Ready to be me again. Me without endometriosis causing me lower back pain, and I can't sit in my office chair. And yeah, it's pretty exciting actually to be looking forward to that. Because that's quite a big thing. But I think going into this job, I'll definitely be looking after myself, keeping my days, half days for a while at least, until I can just bounce back a bit more. Because you can choose to take 6 weeks off. I've chosen 4 just because I'm not rich. I don't have the money to take 6. But yeah, I think I'll still give myself the space to just take maybe half days and not so many days a week and heal as I go. But I'm pretty happy with how I've healed now. I've had antibiotics. The antibiotics turned things around very quickly because I was feeling like death. But yeah, I don't know what other things, because it's been so long and I'm probably missing things that I probably should let you know will happen or may happen to you. You may be, but now knowing I'm quite a unique recovery case, like I don't know if you should take my advice at all because I'm having such unique responses. But I think this will be very validating maybe for other women who have very rare responses to this surgery. Maybe they'll find this and they'll feel validated. Because at the moment I'm like the only person I know who's had, looser bowels and probably pain for a little bit longer. But I think that's because of the infection. It slowed things down. And just feeling a bit differently than other people with it. But yeah, I think the worst part was probably the shoulder pain from the gas and the migraines. Although the bowel pain's been quite bad, like because I've had problems before, I've experienced it before. But initially, having wind or going to the toilet reminded me of labour, of active labour. So quite that end area of labour where it's really intensely painful. Now I wouldn't say so. I would say it's probably more like the beginning of contractions when you're still breathing through it, but it's not quite so bad. But yeah, a lot of things I think will change for you if you're watching these because you're going to have a hysterectomy. Be prepared for change. But they change for the better. You're a lot healthier. Today I'm sort of getting myself pumped up to go clean my car windows because they're a mess. Because in my other job there was a lot of dust and things around on site. So it's quite dirty. So I need to clean the windows of my car. So I'm pumping myself up for that. But I'm getting groceries delivered, so I don't have to go into the store. I was going to go just to make myself be active today, but I'm so tired. Oh, another thing is the eczema around my eye. You can see there. Another reason I'm not wearing makeup is it could really like make it worse. So yeah, my rashes are coming up. I'll get dermatitis on like my hands, which they're quite dry, but no skin breakage yet, which is good because I got on with the cortisone cream and stuff pretty quickly. I'm trying not to take any antihistamines just because it messes with your like immune system to stop you getting your allergies coming up. But I need my immune system at the moment. I need it to be doing what it's supposed to do, even though it's very hyper and overdoes it and breaks me out in rashes. Yeah, I need it to be doing that. So if you're prone to like eczema and stuff, I mean the stress on your body might upset those rashes. But I mean it's not as disfiguring as when I was young, and my eye used to really swell right up. It looked like someone had hit me. It doesn't swell up quite as bad now, which is good, but it's still no fun. Also, I try to avoid cortisone creams around my eye usually because it damages skin, makes it thinner and just more brittle and not good. But in this instance I'll use it, but usually I use Telfast or something else to just settle my allergies down, which settles the eczema down quite a bit, just because I don't want to put creams that damage my skin around my eyes or in areas where the skin is already quite thin. You know, as women we try to avoid skin damage. But yeah, at the moment that's unavoidable because I can't take an antihistamine. Because I've just finished antibiotics and I want to try and even out my body a little bit, and get it to fight for itself. We don't want to end up back on antibiotics because they're not good for my body. I get really sick with antibiotics, things like thrush, and they also upset my stomach, and the pain in my stomach is what we're trying to get rid of, not make worse. So yeah, it's just a little balancing game with what, you know, with those things in your body. So if you've got like other conditions, they may turn up after a hysterectomy, because they definitely are for me. They're waving their little hands and saying, hi, we're here. We're here to hurt your body, which is no fun. I'm having a little bit of like bleeding now that stitches are dissolving and things are, you know, just trying to go to as normal as they can without an organ that was supposed to be there. It's nothing worrisome. I worried at first because I had basically no bleeding at all initially, and it's worse than it was like a day or 2 days after. But upon some research and ringing my doctor, of course, because you can do research online, but ring your doctor or go to your doctor and get confirmation that what you read is true. Yeah, it's just due to healing. Like, it's early days, and yeah, I'm slowly getting there. So tomorrow I think my goal is to go for a good walk. Like I've been taking very, very short ones, but I want to go for a normal walk I would normally go for to get exercise, and see how that goes. I'll take my daughter with me, so if I feel sick or horrible, I've got someone there that can contact my husband to come get me if it gets too bad. But we'll see how it goes. I think it'll go well though. My body is really indicating some healing. I think the worst thing around like week 3 is I've got 3 more weeks until you can do things in the bedroom. and but at week 3 things are healing and feeling a lot happier. So hormones are settling down, things are sort of coming back into place. So yeah, the libido comes back before you can do anything about it. Very much like after having a baby, I think I struggled with the same thing. It was, but of course I'm not going to put anything in danger after having an infection. That scared me enough to follow my doctor's orders. But just, yeah, which is really good because with the endometriosis and pain and feeling sick all the time, I haven't had one for months. So if that's something that maybe you feel with endometriosis, I have to give you hope that with surgery and taking care of it, it will come back. Possibly. Maybe you'll be like me. I can't guarantee, but because we're all different. But yeah, it might come back. For some people it does. I get in a lot of chats about endometriosis and hysterectomy, and some women do report it coming back, and some say, well, mine didn't, which is really disappointing for them. I feel quite sad that that's still a struggle for some women, but I think for the women who had the courage to talk to their doctors about it seem to have more success with finding a way to have that normal, healthy feeling that you're supposed to have. So yeah, I definitely sort of feel very grateful for the specialist I had, because she would take my calls, she would talk to me about any symptoms. Of course, I always looked them up on Google first and sort of, is this normal? I'm worried if I should bother her. But in the end, I just wanted to confirm what I found. Just a sec. So, yeah. And definitely I encourage that. If you want to look things up, it's a good idea. It can be very reassuring to look something up, because usually it does say this is something we experience. It's really reassuring to join chats that are specific to whatever's causing you to need a hysterectomy. It's good to join chats about hysterectomy where other women have had them or are going to have them, because you can talk about things. But at the end of the day, really get a specialist that's willing to communicate with you as well, because you need to communicate that with them, because they're the ones who've gone to school for a million years to know exactly if something is normal or not normal. And if you need to get into the hospital, or after your hysterectomy you need to get into emergency, and not wait around or let it go. So that's always the person you should be talking to about severe concerns. I think that's all. I might go because my daughter was calling me. It's probably for money. So I might have to, change my name, run away to a different country. I don't know. Alright. Well, thank you for listening. I will get that video out about the impact of endometriosis on employment. Sorry for my fan in the background. I've had to circulate some air in here because it really gets quite yucky this time of year in the heat in Australia in a little shed. Sadly, it's the only spot I can really go for some privacy at the moment to do this. So, yeah. Anyway, I will get that video together hopefully soon. Thanks for listening, and bye.